Now for this hour, we start with Iran. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has told Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in a phone call on Tuesday that U.S. threats against Iran will only create instability in the region. Pezeshkian has said that the unity and cohesion of Islamic countries can guarantee lasting security, stability, and peace, and described American actions as aimed at disrupting regional security. Separately, a senior Iranian Revolutionary Guard commander has warned that neighboring countries would be considered hostile if their territory were used to launch attacks on Iran. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman responded that Riyadh will not permit attacks on Iran from Saudi's territory, reaffirming the kingdom's commitment to respecting Iran's sovereignty. The call comes amid heightened tensions following the arrival of a U.S. aircraft carrier strike group in the Middle East in what the United States says is a measure to ensure regional security. Now for this discussion, we welcome retired Ambassador Mahesh Sachdev. He's a former Indian diplomat, joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much, Ambassador, for joining us. Good to see you. Now looking at this, what are we to make of this current situations as tensions rise? Although U.S. has said that, they are open to talks and diplomacy with Iran, it doesn't seem so. What's your take?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And I'm delighted to be on your channel once again.
Thank you.
My own take is that President Trump keeps all his options on the table with regard to Iran. He would prefer to bamboozle or browbeat Iranian leadership into making concessions on a nuclear deal, for example, missile force, and on proxies without having to actually undertake any military action. To that end, the option to take military action itself is being trumpeted, and that is a sort of last resort option. But then Mr. Trump is also known to go for a swift and very public military denouement, following which he could claim to have browbeaten the other side into making swift concessions and take the credit for the same. So as of now, we have a mounting uncertainty and a period of tension as Iran tries to maneuver itself to avoid military action, but without having to give too many things away from its strategic defense and missile and proxy related posture.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, Ambassador. And what do you think if, U.S., if Saudi Arabia has said that they won't allow their airspace to be used or their territory to be used, so did UAE. So what choices does U.S. have right now?
Iran has very often threatened to take action against its neighbors who allow United States either military access or overflight clearances, etc., to attack Iranian targets. Saudi Arabia and UAE, for one, have eschewed that option, by declaring that they would not allow their airspace being used, their port facilities being used to attack Iran. This is partly in realization that they would be damaged collaterally if Iran attacks the US military assets in their territory, or even if Iran decides to harm these countries directly or through its proxies. So they don't want to be sort of held accountable for American action, particularly as Mr. Trump has often acted without much consideration for other countries' interests. At the same time, they would also not like to be a party to Trump versus Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's SWAT. They do not particularly like the Iranian regime, but at the same time, they don't want to be threatened or damaged in this period of high tension. And that is why they have publicly stated that they would not allow this to happen over their territory or over their sort of maritime boundaries. But if United States still insist on using their airspace or maritime space, then they could easily claim that this was done without their permission. So one way or the other, they're trying to avoid being dragged into any forthcoming skirmishes between Iran and United States. You'd recall that in the last round, 12-day war between Israel and Iran, with the United States participating, Iranians actually bombarded the Udeid base in Doha, near Doha in Qatar, where America has its largest military presence in the region. So in one way or the other, Qataris became involved in that fight. UAE and Saudi Arabia do not want that to happen to their interests. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador, for sharing that. Please stay with us as we have a breaking news coming in. Breaking news from India.